What's up, guys? I am the type of guy that loves to work and I plan for a vacation. In fact, I work harder knowing that a vacation is coming up or that I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my time. As soon as that vacation ends, depending how I feel or how much time I've spent into the vacation, I usually am recharged and I'm ready to really grind it out and put my foot forward and work till the next vacation. With the whole pandemic that's been happening, vacations have been ruined. People don't know whether or not they're traveling, etc., where we could go, where we can't go. It's just a mess. So my work ethic, because of the lack of vacations or lack of looking forward to something, has not been the same. But recently I went on a trip to Miami. You could check out that video and see how that trip went. But I usually get rejuvenated and I'm ready to work. But this video is not about me going on vacations or working or anything like that. This video is really about how no one wants to work anymore. It's crazy what's happening post-pandemic. People just don't want to work. They want to collect their free unemployment money. In fact, the recent job claim reports are staggering. They're higher than expected. More people are applying for unemployment than before. There are mandates for where you can work or where you can't work, if you're vaccinated, unvaccinated, and it's just hurting the job market. It's hurting everything in between, from freight to nursing to even tech. So right now it's just a weird time in America where people are just really relying on the government to collect money versus getting back out there, grinding it out, rolling up their sleeves like Americans are known to do, and really trying to make more money, live the American dream, and push forward. So this video is in regards to how people don't want to work anymore and what's going to happen if this trend, this idea continues. So before I get into this video, I always ask that you guys like the video, subscribe to my channel. It's the biggest favor you could do. Share this video. Also, if you like these videos, I started a Patreon page. The link is below. You can buy me a cup of coffee. I need and love coffee. Cannot function without it. In fact, don't talk to me in the morning unless I have my first cup of coffee. Yes, that's a diva comment, but it's the truth. All right, let's get into this video. So recently I was at Home Depot and I was trying to buy some insulation for the warehouse build, and someone here in a comment asked, how's your warehouse project coming along? And it's going along, but very slowly. So we're facing shortages of supplies such as insulation. I need to still install the floor. I got the kitchen ordered. So we're almost at that stage where we're done, aside from the glass offices that I want to put in. We've got the underlayment in and things have been going great. I've been having a hard time finding good labor, but the more of a bigger issue is finding supplies. And I went to Home Depot to order supplies and there's no one working there. In fact, I had to get the manager involved. I said, what's going on? I've been waiting for 45 minutes to do my pickup order. They said, sorry, we can't find employees. I said, what do you mean? They're like, no one wants to work anymore. And that's happening across the country. No one wants to work anymore because the government has given them such a cushion to just sit at home and not do anything and collect unemployment. It's ridiculous. How can the government supply everybody so much money? It creates laziness, it creates bad habits, and it doesn't make the person jump into the labor market anymore. In fact, we're seeing that trend continue through 2022. Right now, there's more jobless claims out there than they expected. Therefore, the stock market got hit because of it, and it's going to continue to keep happening as long as we keep spoon-feeding former employees and teaching the youth that working is no longer the thing to do. You could stay at home, watch Netflix, and collect that unemployment check. So the work ethic has been greatly affected here in America by the government and by all of these handouts, these stimulus packages, these checks, these unemployment benefits that they're offering. And people are simply just would rather not work. They rather have less, but they would rather sit at home, gain weight, get lazy, and not do anything. And it's ridiculous. I don't know that ethic. I wasn't wired that way. It's not in my blood. I have to do many different things at once, as you guys could see on this channel. And I just don't understand it, but I'm worried about it because the future work ethic is almost being prepared to not work completely. And with robotics becoming a thing and growing industry in robotics, I think people are going to struggle to find jobs in the future, especially if their work ethic is as garbage as it is today. When unemployment benefits were introduced, people were making more money sitting on unemployment than they would hold down a job.
Becca Habiger, ABC 10 News. We know many Californians are waiting on the final round of the Golden State stimulus checks, which of course are in the process of going out right now. So especially with the projected surplus that you have told us about, can Californians expect to see more direct payments coming this upcoming fiscal year? And if so, might eligibility expand to include even more Californians?
That's an open-ended question. My sense is, to your question, that yes, there likely will be substantial contributions back to the taxpayers. What form they come in, we'll work with the legislature, and to what degree in terms of total.
And why would anyone want to hold down a job when you're getting a free check? You don't have to drive anywhere, waste money on gas or the maintenance on your car. You don't have to hear from a yelling boss. All you got to do is fill out a few bubbles on an unemployment claim and you're getting paid, and that's it, and you're happier. And the big question to you is the government doing that on purpose so that the individual relies on the government more than ever, giving the government more power because they're feeding you with money? When the government becoming bigger and taking over control and offering people money, the people rely on the government to tell them what to do. Then the government becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's how socialism or communism really starts. The less people want to do things for themselves is an entry or gateway for the government to come in and tell you what to do. Now, people are also not working because of the COVID scares in the past. When someone at work would have a cold or cough or a flu, they would stay at home. Now, not necessarily a cold. I've seen people come into my offices and I've come into work with a cold, etc. I didn't think it was a big deal. But nowadays, if someone sneezes your way, people are looking at you as if you have Ebola and they're freaking out. It's like Magic Johnson when he first had AIDS in the NBA in the early 90s. No one wanted to play basketball with him, and it forced him into somewhat of an early retirement. That's what's happening today with any cold or flu-like symptom, and it's ridiculous, and people don't want to go to work because they're more scared of the cold. They don't want to pass it along, etc. But this is what's happening in today's labor force market. No one is coming in. In fact, Autodesk in San Francisco, a big company, public company that my wife used to work at, remodeled their offices in 2019 or so, shut down both Bay Area locations, and they are no longer having offices here in the Bay Area because no one wants to come into work. On the reverse side, you have Meta, which is buying office buildings and leasing office space in Austin, Texas, and in the Bay Area, in Palo Alto. Google leased even more office space. So I don't understand it. Are people going to go back to work, or are they not going to go back to work? What are the big companies planning? Because again, these big companies such as Apple, Google, Microsoft, etc., they pretty much make up our GDP in the economy today. So whatever they say will probably happen with the labor force. Now, another thing could be happening that people are not going back to work is they're starting to work for themselves. They're creating YouTube videos, starting a business on Etsy, doing a side hustle, making more money. That could be happening as well. However, my inclination is that they're lazy and they're collecting free money. So laziness, I think, is the growing trend of people not wanting to work. Free money leads to laziness. In fact, it's like raising a kid and not ever challenging him and giving him all the money in the world to do whatever he wants. Guess what? That kid's going to grow up to be a brat that doesn't value or understand money, doesn't understand how hard it is to make money and how hard it is to keep money. So when you're feeding someone constantly with $100 bills, that's what happens. People tend to stay home, watch Netflix, watch The Housewives. Oh, that's a terrible idea. And then they're not even housewives on that show. And then they tend to just relax and enjoy the free benefits of the government. But guess who pays the government? You, the taxpayer. So more and more taxes are coming out of you to give you a little bit of that money, and you're getting lazier and lazier, staying home and not entering the workforce. So that's pretty much it. Another 230,000 jobless claims have been filed. Now, although they're saying it's low compared to the pandemic era, that's actually really bad because we're technically out of the pandemic in full function. 230,000 were filed, expected was around 200,000, and there's over 1.7 million active unemployment claims in the job market today. Now, this is jobless claims being filed per week, which is incredible. I think it's going to get worse with more and more people filing. Once robotics kicks in, even more people are going to file. It's said that Uber, for example, is testing self-driving cars without drivers.
It's asking me to start the ride, so let's do that.
Heading to Baby K's Cajun Kitchen. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened.
All right, so we're pulling out of this parking lot right now and onto public road. So here we come, some construction right here, which is very challenging for self-driving cars, and it kind of handled it with really no problem at all. It slowed down a little bit, now it's changing lanes, and just kind of breezed past that construction site there as if, it was being driven by a human, quite honestly.
Trucking companies are testing self-driving trucks.
No, this isn't a runaway truck, and no, it's not an outtake from the action movie Speed. This is a conventional 18-wheeler that drives itself, thanks to a $30,000 retrofit. San Francisco startup Otto, which Uber bought this summer, made history with this truck.
And what's going to happen to all that labor Uber workforce in the future, we don't know. And the high inflation is certainly not helping with unemployment claims. It is more costly to get to work nowadays for a lot of people that can't afford it than it was before. And I think it's going to continue to keep happening as gas, food, and everything in between continues to go up. We are in trouble. The people need to get out of their couch, their chair, and really try to find a job. Do not let laziness become you. It's the worst mindset you could have. In fact, you need to constantly push yourself to try to do better every day. And sitting on your couch collecting unemployment is going to be the wrong way. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below. Let me know. Do you think the government is purposely paying people to rely on the government? Do they really need help? Is the job market going to get worse? Let's start a little debate. I'll catch you guys here in the next video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. As always, I appreciate it. Check out my Patreon below. Thanks, guys.